Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Thunderbird Radio, the best place to get announcements for all things UMA. Remember, if you have announcements, you can email them to announcements@utahmilitaryacademy.org. Again, that is announcements@utahmilitaryacademy.org. Now on with the show. Preceding duty flight last week, which it was Delta flight, it is now Echo's turn. Those of you in Echo, you are expected to show up for duty flight this week. Hope to see you there, and try not to be late for any classes. Remember, if you go off campus and don't think you can make it back in time, just don't go off campus. That way you can actually perform your duty flight things and won't have to clean next week. Now for the uniform tip of the week. Pimple patches, or whatever the current name of the colored stars or various other shapes are, pimple patches on your face must be transparent or match your skin tone. The colored palette ones are not allowed. Another point of interest with uniform stuff is lost and found. Currently there are several lunch bags, water bottles, and pairs of shoes, or individual ones, on the lost and found table. Check to see if any of this is yours, as on Friday, all of it will either be thrown away or donated. Please pick up items so it doesn't get thrown away. Everybody likes food, and that's what these next announcements are about. So, cadets that eat breakfast in the cafeteria, please put packaged food that you have not eaten and isn't opened in the share bucket on the table next to the trash can. Large amounts of food are being thrown away that can be shared by others. Don't waste your food, please. And if you throw away food, it becomes trash, and remember, you are what you eat. After breakfast is lunch. Junior high lunch. As far as I know, you may sit wherever you'd like. However, you are not able to line up immediately. You must take a seat and wait until your table is called. Cadets with home lunch that need to use the microwaves, you may do so immediately. After you're done using the microwave, immediately go to your seat. When cadets, you are done eating, and if you have a tray, you may replace your tray, but then you must go sit back down. You are not allowed to wander at the tables. This goes for junior high. Seniors, or anyone this corresponds to. I might have skipped the script here, but this is fine. Okay, yeah. High school cadets. All cadets must enter through the front and back doors. So this goes for everyone, not just high school cadets. Bad scripting there. So whether it's during lunch, before or after school, you must enter through the front doors, and you are not allowed to let anyone in through the side doors. It's a safety concern, and the people that you can let through the side doors includes no one, not even teachers. Now, seniors. Anyone that really this corresponds to. If you're applying to attend college, you can now look at scholarship and college opportunities. You can check the counselor site on the UMA webpage for a number of scholarship opportunities. Those applying for ROTC or the academies, you should do so now. This is something I really need to do, to be completely honest. And if you have any questions, you can talk to Major Workman or Mrs. Horning. Then, seniors, this is important for you. If you have credit recovery, you should start working on it now and stop procrastinating. It's past midterms already, and time is flying quickly. Those packets can still be purchased in the office for $35. Now is for the favorite section of mine, as it keeps changing every week. So it's always something interesting for me to read, and as well for you to listen to. The cadet website is available with all sorts of articles that you may or may not find interesting. It's really up to you to find out. You can find the website at umathunderbirds.com. Again, that is umathunderbirds.com. You can also download the Student News Source app and input Utah Military Academy to find them as well. So, we have a fancy new technology that allows us to stream sports games held in our gymnasium. Those games are now streamed on NFHS. Away games are streamed on the same system if those schools have it. And if I'm reading this correctly, you need a paid subscription to watch games, away games, but it could be for all of the games. I don't know. Also, according to my almighty paper script, games all over the country can be accessed to the subscription. Go to nfhsnetwork.com. Again, that is nfhsnetwork.com for more information, as well as to subscribe for their paid subscription so you can actually access this. This week we have some important team time and announcements before we actually get into the sports. This one has already been announced in formation, but I'm going to repeat it because I want you to suffer. Not because you need to know it. Kitty Hawk is currently seeking members. As an explanation for what it is, if you've somehow escaped it, Kitty Hawk is a cadet-led peer tutoring program to aid all cadets in their academic pursuits to aid the higher academic goals of the unit, and the school in general. They are currently seeking members and leaders. If you require more information, seek out Cadet Major Eckberg or Lieutenant Colonel Tischer. Then there's news from the Airsoft Club, which is strange. We haven't really heard from them in a while. The uniform that all cadets involved must wear going to that club is the PT uniform. There will be time allowed for you to change into that uniform. Those attending the meetings, they will start at 15:25, or 3:25 if you don't know what that means. All members must download the band app as well to keep updated on the meetings and the game day details. Raiders has their first orienteering competition on Saturday, September 21st in Eden, Utah. The first Raiders competition is on Friday, September 27th. Anyone interested in joining Raiders is welcome to attend the event to see what the Raider competition is about, or you can come cheer the team on. Then join if you're up to the challenge. Now we are on to sports, and I'm going to start naming this section the Sports Zone. Baseball has an away game on Friday at Green River. Girls soccer has a home game on Tuesday against Mazer Prep at Ogden Eccles Field, and an away game on Thursday at ALA. Girls high school volleyball has a home game Tuesday against Wasatch Academy, and on Thursday they have an away game at Intermountain Christian. Girls junior high volleyball has a home game on Monday against Mound Feet. I don't know how to pronounce that. And on Wednesday they have an away game at Ogden Prep. Lastly, football has an away game on Friday at St. Joseph. Team times are just about as normal as last week, but we'll go over it anyway so you know what options you have available to you. On Monday, there's Boy Scouts with Mr. Chapman in room 101, MMA with Coach Foley in the cafeteria, Ham Radio with Mr. Mamanakis in room 119, Chess/Power Chess in the library, Marksmanship with Coach Castle on the range, and Archery with Coach Sage on the range. On Tuesday, there's Kitty Hawk and academic teams with Lieutenant Colonel Tischer in room 122, Innovation Station with Mr. Curtis in room 201, Learn to Cook with Mrs. Greneau in the cafeteria, Aeronautic Modeling with Mr. Warner in room 123, Dungeons & Dragons with Mr. Doctor in room 203, Drama Club with Major Curtis in room 101, Chess, which is still to be determined apparently, I just don't think they changed this announcement, and many study halls which you can attend. You can find the schedules of which in the hallways with the papers that are still hanging on the wall. On Wednesday, there's Archery like the rest of the week on the range, MMA in the cafeteria, Marksmanship on the range, Avatar Team Time with Miss Kruger in room 110, Airsoft with Captain Leckman in room 208, Esports with Mr. Storm in room 107, Open Art with Mrs. Carter in room 122, Emergency Service and Search and Rescue with Mr. Warner in room 123, Japanese Club/Science Study Hall with Mr. Gabriel in room 118, Honor Guard with Sergeant Jimenez on the drill pad, National Honor Society with Mrs. McCutcheon in room 117, Junior National Honor Society with Mrs. Carlisi in room 119, Latinos in Action with Mr. Pickett, and many more study halls. On Thursday, there's Cyber Patriot with Mr. Storm in room 107, Innovation Station with Mr. Curtis in room 201, German Club with Mr. Atkins in the library, Archery with Coach Sage on the range, Raiders with Captain Leckman in room 208, Honor Guard on the drill pad, CAP with Lieutenant Colonel Carlisi in room 207, Aeronautical Modeling with Mr. Warner in room 123, Dungeons & Dragons with Mr. Doctor in room 203, Latinos in Action with Mr. Pickett and Dr. Chaparro in room 105, Garage Band with Mr. Cap in room 124, Military Film Club with Major Curtis in room 101, and, for the last time, numerous study halls that you may be able to attend. That's it for this week's episode of Studio Thunderbirds. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more announcements next week, as we will be getting them every week, clearly, if you've been following this channel for even 2 weeks now. So, hope you enjoyed, and as always, remember to have a good day. See you next week.